So welcome to this video series on aptitude presented by Mentors4ias in association with Bangalore IAS Academy and NammaKPSC. So this is an initiative of NammaKPSC to help students to prepare and study from home with the help of YouTube videos, current affairs available on the website, PDF materials for every subject and online tests to track your preparation. So do remember to visit www.nammakpsc.com for more information. Now in this particular session, we will continue with profit and loss. So we'll straight away start solving few more problems on profit and loss, because obviously I told you in the last video that when it comes to profit and loss, there are different types of problems. There are actually many types of problems and the question may be framed and twisted in any manner. Therefore, it is actually important that you understand the question, you understand the concept if you wish to be comfortable when it comes to this topic or concept known as profit and loss. So let us start with our first question. Now, question number 1 says, Jacob bought a scooter for a certain sum of money. He spent 10% of the cost on repairs and sold the scooter for a profit of rupees 1,100. How much did he spend on repairs if he made a profit of 20%? Now, in order for me to solve this particular question, I am going to assume something. Now, generally, we always assume something to be X. Now, this, being more than 30 videos, we have already discussed, we have solved so many problems, and this particular session is actually more than 30. I think it's the 32nd video that we are actually discussing right now. I hope by now you should be comfortable with assuming something as X. Now, it is not necessary that I always take some other number. By now, you should be comfortable with dealing when it comes to dealing with X. So, what I am going to do in this particular question is that here I am going to assume let the cost price be X. Now, when I say the cost price, I mean the total cost price, because here the question says Jacob bought a scooter for a certain sum of money, and on that he spent 10% of that cost price on repairs. So when I say total cost price is equal to X, I mean this is equal to his purchase price plus that 10% repair. Okay, so let X be the total cost that he actually incurs before selling. That is that initial purchase price plus the amount of money that he spends on his repairs. Now, the question further says that he spent 10% of the cost on repairs and then sold the scooter for a profit of 1,100. Therefore, profit is, I am going to write profit as rupees 1,100. The question further says, how much did he spend on repairs, meaning we have to find the value of this. How much did he spend actually on repairs if he made a profit of 20%? If he made a profit of 20%. So his gain percent is what? His gain percent is nothing but 20%. Now, for us to determine the amount of money that he has spent on repairs, where the repairs itself is 10% on the cost price, we have to first determine the cost price. Only then can we determine how much amount of money was spent on repairs. In order for us to determine the cost price, we have to first determine the total cost price. So now the question is, how do we determine the total cost price? Okay, now see here, profit is already given. Now, I'm pretty sure everybody knows profit is equal to what? Profit is equal to nothing but the selling price minus the cost price. Now, cost price, total cost price, I have already assumed this is total cost price. I am saying total cost price, I have already assumed it to be X. Now, what is the selling price? Here the question is saying that the gain percentage is 20%. The gain percentage is 20%, meaning if the total cost price, that is X, If X is 100%, then the selling price will be what? 120%. That is how he is able to make this 20% profit. Therefore, what is the selling price? It has to be 1.2x. I am just explaining how is it 1.2x. I hope you're not, nobody is still continuing or resorting to these things. This is nothing but for me explaining it to you how do you get 1.2x. Selling price, straight away you have to write 1.2x. How do you get 1.2x? This is what I am explaining. So selling price is what? Nothing but 120x divided by 100. That is how you get 1.2x. So I am going to write profit as equal to what? Selling price, that is 1.2x, minus of cost price, that is total cost price, minus x. Now this is equal to what? 1.2x minus x is equal to nothing but 0.2x. Profit is what? Profit is given in the question itself. It says it is nothing but rupees 1100. Therefore, what is x? X is nothing but 1100 by 0.2 or 11,000 by 2. What is 11,000 by 2? Nothing but 5,500. Therefore, the total cost price is what? It is 5,100. Now, this 5,100 is equal to cost price plus the repair. What is this repair? This repair is nothing but 10% of the cost price. He spent 10% of the cost on repairs. So, can I write repair, the amount of money that he has spent on repairs as 0.1 CP? Correct? Why? Why is it 0.1 CP? Because he is spending 10% of the cost price on repairs. So, therefore, we have what? We have 5,500 is equal to cost price plus 0.1 or 10% of the cost price. This is nothing but 5,500 is equal to 1.1 times cost price, or cost price is nothing but 5,500 divided by 1.1, or I will write it as 11 and 55,000. 11 5s are 55. So cost price is nothing but 5,000. So the initial purchase price of the scooter, Jacob spent 5,000 rupees to purchase a scooter. But the question is asking for what? The question is asking for the repairs. How much did he spend on repairs? How do you determine how much he spent on repairs? Nothing but total cost price minus the initial purchase price. So it is 5,500 minus 5,000. It is 5,500 minus 5,000. You get rupees 500. Therefore, the correct answer is rupees 500. The correct option is option C. It is option C. So now we'll move on to the next question. Question number 2. Now, what does question number 2 say? Question number 2 says, when a plot is sold for rupees 18,700, the owner loses 15%. So, at what price must the plot be sold in order to gain 15%? In order to gain 15%. See, I told you initially in last video itself, I will not be making use of any formula as such. Okay, we will go by the concept itself, we will go by the method itself, so that you don't have to remember anything. So now how do you solve this particular question without using any formula or whatever it is? Now, the question is saying that when a plot is sold at 18,700 rupees, meaning what? Selling price, SP is what? SP is 18,700 rupees. SP is nothing but 18,700 rupees. Now, when selling the plot at 18,700 rupees, the owner loses 15%. The owner loses 15%. Therefore, the loss percentage is what? Loss percentage is nothing but 15%. So, if I have the selling price and I have the loss percentage, is it possible for us to determine the cost price? Is it possible? Of course, it is possible for us to determine the cost price, because I did tell you earlier, I did mention earlier that everything is determined in terms of or on basis of the cost price. So, if I take the cost price to be 100%, then this 18,700, that is the selling price, this is 18,700. So this 18,700 will be what? This is equal to 85%. Why? Because we are selling it. The plot is being sold at a 15% loss. Therefore, it is 85%. Then can't we determine the cost price? What is cost price? Cost price is nothing but 18,700 into 100 divided by 85. Now we know that 17 5s is 85. If you look at this, this is also divisible by 17, right? 17 ones are 17, 1 carry, 17 ones are 17 again, 100, 17 5s are 85, 17 5s are 85, 5 to 20. Therefore, what is the cost price now? Cost price is nothing but 2 into 11 is 22 and 30 following. Cost price is now 22,000. So this is the cost price, that is 22,000, and he had earlier sold it for 18,700, which was nothing but a loss of 3,300 rupees, which was 15% loss. Now the question is further asking, at what price must the plot be sold in order to gain 15%? Okay. Now earlier there's a loss of 15%, now we need a gain of 15%. So now what do we do? Again, the same thing. See, we already know the cost price now. If cost price is 100%, what should be the selling price such that we get a profit of 15%? If it is a profit of 15%, meaning what? It is 115% of the cost price, 15% extra. So now can we determine the cost price? Of course we can determine the cost price. How do we determine the cost price? Once again, nothing but cross multiply. So cost price, the selling price. So what is the new selling price at 15% profit? What do? We take 22,000 into 115 divided by 100. So 0 and 0 gets cancelled. Okay, so it is 220 into 115. So let me just multiply it here itself, 115 into 22. So 2 5s are 10, 2 1s are 2, sorry 3. Yeah, 2 1s are 2, it is 3 over here. Then 2 1s are 2. Then same thing. So what do you get? 0, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 2. Therefore, the new selling price is what? It is 2,530. Sorry, another 0 over here. Okay, it is 25,300. Therefore, the correct option is C. The correct answer is 25,300. Now, of course, I have solved this particular problem. I hope everybody is understood. Now, I am going to tell you something else so that you are able to reduce the amount of time which is taken. Now, I have explained all of these things so that you understood, you know how to approach such problems. However, it is not necessary that you do all these calculations. Now what I am going to do is that, see here, this selling price is what? This selling price is 18,700. Correct? This selling price is 18,700. This 18,700 is at a loss of 15%. So we know that 18,700 is 85%. What is the question asking for? Question wants the selling price at 15% gain. What is that 15% gain? It is 115%. So we can directly find out the new selling price. I've done all this so that you're able to appreciate the concept as to what is going on over here. So instead of doing all this, you can straight away cut short. You don't have to find out the cost price. If the question did ask for cost price, then yes, you can follow this. You can find out the cost price and you can also find out the new selling price. If the question is only asking for the new selling price, you can straight away go for finding out the new selling price at 15% profit. So now again cross multiply, you will get the same thing. So 115 into 18700 divided by 85. So we've already done it 85. So 17 5s are, this was 100 from here, same thing over here. So we have 115 into 1100 divided by 5. Here 5 2s are 10, 1 carry, 5 3s are 15. So it is 23 into 11. So what is 23 into 11 is 352. Okay. Same thing, we get the same thing, 253 and the 2 zeros over here. It is nothing but 25,300. Therefore, the correct answer is 25,300. Now let us move on to the next question, question number 3. Now question number 3 says a property dealer sells a house for rupees 6,30,000 and in the bargain makes a profit of 5%. He makes a profit of 5%. Had he sold it for rupees 5 lakhs, then what percentage of loss or gain would he have made? So now, according to this question, what is the selling price? The selling price is 6,30,000. So on this, he makes a profit of what? 5%. He makes a profit of 5%. So can I say 6,30,000 is 105%? Yes, with respect to the cost price, I'm saying the cost price is 100%, then the selling price, which is 6,30,000, it will be 105%. Now the question is saying, had he sold it for rupees 5 lakhs, then what percentage of loss or gain would it have been? Now, a difference of 1,30,000 will obviously result in a loss itself. So we can straight away decide that it is a loss. So if you look at the options over here, say for example, if this was gain, this was gain, and this was the only option which said loss, then we could have straight away opted for option D. But here, of course, except for one, all the other three options do say loss. So then we'll have to go for further calculation and then determine what is the exact loss percentage. So according to this question, it is saying that had he sold it for rupees 5 lakhs, then what is the percentage of loss or gain? Obviously it is loss, but we have to determine what would have been the loss percentage. So same thing, if 6,30,000 is 105%, what is 5 lakh? What is 5 lakh? What percentage would it have been? So what are we going to do? Again, cross multiply. So we have 5 lakhs into 105 divided by 6,30,000. So 4 zeros we can straight away cancel it. So here we have 3, so this was divisible by 3, so 3 2s are 6, 1, 3 3s are 9, 1 5, so 3 5s are 15, 7 3s are 21, 7 5s are 35. So what do we get? We get 50 into 5 is 250 by 3%. So 5 lakhs is what? 5 lakhs is nothing but 250 by 3%. But if you look at the options over here, there is no option as 250 by 3%. Then how do we determine what is the loss or what is the gain? See, it has to be, we are in order to determine the loss percentage or the gain percentage, we always compare it with 100% because 100% is cost price. So if it is 90%, I would say it is 10% loss. If it is 88%, I would say it is 12% loss. Similarly, if it is 106%, I would say it is 6% profit. If it is 109, I would say it is 9% profit. But if you look at 250 divided by 3, it is a bit difficult for me to determine what is the loss percentage. Now obviously I can divide 250 by 3. I can obviously divide 250 by 3. So I can divide, when I divide 250 by 3, what is it? 3 8s are 24, 1 0, 3s are 9, it is 1. So again it is nothing but 83.33%. So now I have to determine 83.33% from this. So if you look at this, if it is 83.33%, if 5 lakhs is 83.33% with respect to the cost price, then what is your loss percentage? It is nothing but 16.66%. It has to be 16.66%, obviously. Correct? See, if it is 84, then it would have been 16%. 33 meaning then it is 0.66. So the loss percentage is 16.66%. So from here we have to determine which corresponds to 16.66%. 10% absolutely not. 25 by 2 is 12.5. Again cancelled out. The only remaining is 50 by 3. You can divide 50 by 3 in order to check. See, if you have 3 1s are 3, 2 carry, 3 6 are 18, obviously it is 16%. Therefore the correct option is what? It is 50 by 3%. So the correct option is option D. Correct answer is 50 by 3%. However, if you don't wish to divide 250 by 3, what you can actually do is, see, 100% is what? 100% is nothing but the cost price. When you subtract the loss percentage where x has to be something, this is equal to 250 by 3. This is actually equal to 250 by 3. So if you find out x, that will give you 16.66%, but in terms of fraction itself, you don't have to divide anything, because 250 by 3 is what? 250 by 3 is the actual selling price at a loss. But what do we want? We want the loss percentage itself, not the selling price in terms of percentage. So how do we determine what is x? I take 3 to the left hand side. We have 300 minus 3x is equal to 250. I take 3x to the right hand side. I take 250 to the other side. 300 minus 250 is 50 is equal to 3x. Therefore, x is what? Nothing but 50 by 3. Therefore, again, as I had mentioned earlier, the correct option is option D. The correct answer is 50 by 3%, which is a loss. Next question. Question number 4. Now, question number 4 says, the ratio between the sale price and the cost price of an article is 7:5. Then, what is the ratio between the profit and cost price of that article? A very simple question. Again, if you understand, it is very simple. If you don't understand, you may get confused. Now, what is the question saying? The question is saying the ratio between the sale price and the cost price. So, SP is to CP is equal to nothing but 7 by 5. What is the question asking for? Question wants the ratio of profit to cost price. What is this? Ratio of profit to cost price. Now, what is profit? Profit is nothing but selling price minus cost price. Therefore, can I write selling price is equal to profit plus cost price? How? By bringing cost price to the left hand side. So now I will substitute selling price as profit plus cost price in this relationship over here, in this relation. So what will I write selling price as? I will write selling price as profit plus cost price divided by cost price is equal to 7 by 5. This is nothing but profit by cost price. Just a moment. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to write this as profit by cost price plus cost price by cost price, which is equal to 7 by 5. What is this? Profit by cost price plus cost price by cost price is nothing but equal to 1 is equal to 7 by 5, or profit by cost price is equal to, I take 1 to the right hand side, nothing but 7 by 5 minus 1, which is equal to 7 minus 5 by 5, which is equal to nothing but 2 by 5. Therefore, the ratio of profit to cost price, is what? 2:5. The answer is 2:5. However, if you look at the option over here, we have cost price to profit but not profit to cost price. But the question is specifically asking profit and cost price. Therefore, the correct answer is none of these. The correct option is option D. It is option D. Next question, question number 5. Now, what does question number 5 say? Question number 5 says, at what profit percent must an article be sold so that by selling at half that price, there may be a loss of 30%. At what profit percent must an article be sold so that by selling at half that price, there may be a loss of 30%. So again, we are going to assume let the cost price be equal to X rupees. Now, the question is saying there has to be a loss of how much? There has to be a loss of 30%. At what profit percent must an article be sold so that by selling at half that price, there may be a loss of 30%. So there has to be a loss of 30%. If the loss percent is 30%, then what will be the selling price in terms of X after taking a 30% loss? That selling price will be what? It is equal to 0.7x. x. Correct? Now by now I hope you are able to understand why is it 0.7x. So now the selling price is 0.7x when it takes a loss of 30%. But what is this selling price? This selling price is nothing but half the selling price, half of that selling price which would have made a profit, which would have made a profit. So we have to determine that profit percentage. So at what profit percent must an article be sold so that by selling that at half that price there may be a loss of 30%. So half that price is 0.7x. So in order to determine that profit, what should be the selling price? It is twice of this selling price. So we take 2 into 0.7x, which is equal to 1.4x. 1.4x. So then what is the profit percentage? Just by looking at 1.4, you should be able to mark option C, that is nothing but 40%. Why? Because cost price is what? X is 100%. Therefore 1.4x is how much? Nothing but 1.4x into 100 divided by x. X and x gets cancelled. 1.4 into 100 is nothing but 140. So it is what? Profit is what? Profit is 40%. Profit is 40%. Next question, question number 6. Now question number 6 says, the cost price of an article is 40% of the selling price. Then the percent that the selling price is of cost price is what? Again we will assume let cost price be equal to x. Now here for this particular question, since the question itself says the cost price of an article is 40% of the selling price, then we are going to say if selling price is 100%, then the cost price is 40%. Cost price is 40% of the selling price, where the cost price is what? Cost price is nothing but x. Then what is the selling price in terms of x? Selling price is nothing but 100 into x divided by 40. 0 and 0 gets cancelled. It is nothing but 5 by 2x. So if cost price is x, then the selling price is 5 by 2x. Now what is the question asking? Now what is the selling price in terms of percentage with respect to cost price? So now what we will do is we will take cost price as 100%. So if cost price is 100%, what is selling price with respect to that? We know selling price is what? 5 by 2x. Cost price is what? Nothing but x. So then how do we determine this? It is nothing but 5 by 2x into 100, whole thing divided by x. X and x gets cancelled. 250. 250 is 100. 5 into 5 is 25. So it is 250. Therefore the correct answer is option A. The correct answer is 250%. If cost price is x, cost price 100% and selling price is 250%. So there's a difference of 150%. So the profit percentage is what? Profit percentage is 150%. Question number 7. Now what does question number 7 say? Question number 7 says, by selling a pen for rupees 15, a man loses 1/16th of what it costs him. Therefore, what is the cost price of the pen? Now, what is the selling price? Selling price is rupees 15. He is selling this at rupees 15 at a loss. What is the loss? 1/16th of the cost price. So let me assume the cost price to be what? X rupees. If cost price is X rupees, what is the loss? Loss is 1/16th of the cost price. Loss is what? X by 16 rupees. If there is a loss, how do you determine the loss? Loss is nothing but cost price minus selling price. We know cost price as X, selling price as X. Selling price as 15, cost price as X, and loss as X by 16. So now substituting accordingly, we have X by 16 is equal to x minus 15. Therefore, 15 is equal to x minus x by 16. This is nothing but 16x minus x by 16. Therefore, 15 is equal to 15x divided by 16. 15 and 15 gets cancelled, leaving x as equal to 16. Therefore, what is the cost price? Cost price is nothing but 16 rupees. Therefore, the question is asking for the cost price. The correct option will then be option A. The correct answer is rupees 16. Question number 8 now. Now, these are all very simple problems. I hope you are able to follow. I am not explaining it in depth. Question number 8. Now, question number 8 says, in a store, the profit is 320% of the cost. If the cost increases by 25%, but the selling price remains constant, approximately what percentage of the selling price is the profit? In this particular question, since everything is in terms of percentage itself, instead of taking x, I am going to say let the cost price be 100. I am assuming let the cost price be 100. So, if the cost price is 100, going by the question, what is profit? Profit is 320%, meaning profit is 320 rupees, correct? If cost price is 100%, where 100% is 100 rupees, then 320% will obviously be nothing but 320 rupees itself. So, if cost price is 100, profit is 320. What is selling price? Selling price is 420 rupees. Correct? 100 plus 320 is 420 rupees. Now, the question is saying if the cost price increases by 25%, but the selling price remains constant. So, if the cost price increases by 25%, what is the new cost price? New cost price is nothing but 125 rupees, correct? 100 increases by 25%, how much is it? Nothing but 125 rupees. So, if the cost price increases by 25% but the selling price remains constant, approximately what percentage of the selling price is the profit? Now, selling price remains the same. Selling price remains the same, but cost price has changed. Then profit will also change, where profit is what? 420, it is nothing but 420 minus 125. It is 1, 10, 5, it is 11 and 3, 11 2s are 9, 3 minus, 11 minus 2 is 9, 3 minus 1 is 2. Therefore, profit, the new profit is how much? The new profit is 295 rupees. What is the question asking for? What percentage of the selling price is the profit? So, simple. If 420 rupees selling price remains the same, is 100%, how much is 295? So, cross multiplying, we get 295 into 100 divided by 420. So, 0 and 0 gets cancelled. We have 42 into 10, 295 divided by 42 into 10. So, 7s are 6s are 42. How about this? 7 7s are 28, 1 5. No, it is not divisible. No, this is also not divisible by 3. However, if you look at the question over here, it is only saying it is approximately. So, what I am going to say is that, see here, it is approximately divisible by 7. It is approximately divisible by 7, right? See, it is 7, 7 4s are 28, 1 carry 5. So, 7 2s are 14 itself. 7 2s are 14 itself. And here it is what? 7 5 that is 7 6 are 42. 6 7s are 42. So, it is approximately what? It is approximately 70%. Now, since the question itself is asking for approximately, then it is not necessary that we solve it for till the decimal point in order to find out the correct answer. We should be able to approximate it. Therefore, the correct option is what? It is option B. The correct answer is 70%. It is 70%. So, here we have 3 practice questions. Do try to solve them, do try to find out the correct answer. Now, the answers for these practice questions will be posted in the comment section. If you do have any doubts, please do write to us. If you did like the video, please do follow us and subscribe us for more such videos. Thank you.